Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to a new playthrough on the channel. After a very busy day on the channel with This War of Mine, Dune Imperium, and Strat Hockey yesterday, we're going back to the romanticizing the part of war. We're going back to romanticizing the pilots as we play Night Fighter Ace by Compass Games. This is a Gregory Smith design where we're in a night fighter over the skies of World War II Germany. And we are actually quite a ways into our career for Schultz, who's our pilot in this game. We're based over in the Netherlands, and we are very much. We've had 7 kills, and I've had to get caught up on a few different rewards. So we actually have the Iron Cross second and first class, along with the Operational Flying Cross in bronze. That one is awarded after 20 flights. And we picked up ace status when we shot down that Lancaster in the first raid of this month over Berlin. So we're also at 4 prestige points, which opens up an option for maybe moving into a new plane, to a newer aircraft in the same general series. So we've got some options on what we want to do with our prestige points. But before we get into that one, we've got another sortie to go through. So this is our fifth. This is actually going to be the 6th sortie of the month. We lost one because we ended up having some repairs after our last sortie, and we got shredded. So with that in mind, let's jump into our raid and see where the Allies are trying to go after this time. So we're in November 43. We need a 2d6 roll for that. Dice Tower is probably not going to be. Let me see if I can adjust this a little bit. I don't think the Dice Tower is going to be visible in this. Well, we can bring it in here for. Where do I want to put the Dice Tower down? I think I'll move the bomber mat out of the way for the time being, because I only bring that in generally if I need it. So we'll do that. And then we've got room to bring the Dice Tower in over here. All right, that'll work. So let's see where this raid is targeting. It's 11, so they're going after Leverkusen over the Ruhr being our base target. Let's see. Okay, this will be a Leverkusen or Kusen. Okay, so first thing we need to do is roll for weather, because there's a possibility that we might get the raid canceled. That is a D10 roll. 5 is good weather, so never mind weather cancellation there. All right, next we have to check for a random electronics failure. I'm actually going to bring my logbook over here so I don't keep having to pivot from that. So 2d6 on chart B4. That's a 5, so no effect. All right, next thing we have to check for is if we fall for a spoof raid. So that is a 2d6 roll. 6, we don't fall for the spoof raid. So now we're moving over to the Ruhr, and we roll a d10 for possible interception. And no modifiers because of the state of the moon. State of the moon for this one is heading toward. It's not no moon, but it's nothing going on really with this moon. A 2 is no interception. Moving over to Berlin, Frankfurt. Seven is no interception. Over to France, Bremen. Also, still no interception. Over to Munich. One, that's a 1, so we are unsure of location. And that's a natural 1. So unsure of location means no contact. So basically we skip a box, which is going to be the last unmarked, so now we're trying to land. Landing says, right, that's right, we had to bail out the last mission. So landing is going to be on this chart, I believe. That's a 2d6 roll. That's an 11. Rough landing, so everybody gets a light wound. Which, since nothing happened, makes that the most eventful part of the raid. And then I believe we pick up 1 experience just for... I was going to say, for every 4 sorties flown, no. So we don't just pick up an experience here. All right, so this was sortie number 25. Quiet sortie. So nothing going on that one. All right, so now we're moving into November 43, the 7th sortie of the month. This one, we are going to have a dark moon. So we're going to be looking at making intercepts at -1. But first, we need to roll and see where is being targeted. That's a 9, which is going after Frankfurt. Actually, wait a second. When does the check for intruders at the airbase start? Starting in April 1944. Okay, so we're very much a ways off from that. And actually, there is a reminder on the back of the log sheet, so we have to check, so we can check for that later. And so we're in the hangar. Because of the right. Get this updated. All right, dark moon, so as I said, interceptions are -1. All right, let's see what kind of, which one is it going to be? Weather chart is on the other side of this one, I think. Yes. All right, so D10 for the weather check. That's a 5, so still good weather. Then random electronics failure, which is on B4. And that's a 10. Secondary radar's out, but we don't have secondary radar. So that's essentially no effect. And the next question is, do we fall for a spoof raid? That is I believe that was a 2d6 roll as well. Yes, it is. So as we move over to Berlin, Frankfurt, that's a 7, so no, we don't fall for the spoof raid. All right, now we're rolling for the actual raid. So now we're looking at Berlin, Frankfurt. We're rolling for interception. Remember, we are -1 on the D10 because of the state of the moon. That's a 4 minus 1 is 3, which is no interception. Next, over to France, Bremen. That's a 4 minus 1 is 3. Once again, no interception. Munich. Wow, another no interception. Should be a quiet session of sorties. Blank box. Is a 6 minus 1 is 5, no interception. So now we're trying to land. Probably going to be another raid where we have not a whole lot going on. That's a 4, so that's a safe landing. Another quiet sortie. This one will give us this last raid, when it's over, will give us our first chance at promotion. But we also have a dark moon to contend with, because we'll be looking at a -2 modifier for no moon. All right, first we got to see where the raid is going after. That's a 7, so that's going... So the Allies are going for Berlin on this raid. All right, so we are going to be setting up there, but first we have to roll for the weather. That's a 4, so once again we've got good weather. Checking for random electronics failure. Seven, no effect. And a spoof raid. Which is not that. So good weather, no moon. Spoof raid is a 2d6. 7 is no effect, so we don't fall for the spoof raid. And now we're rolling for Berlin, Frankfurt. And interceptions are -2 because of the state of the moon. That's an 8 minus 1 is 7, and actually 8 minus 2 is 6. That would have been no interception anyway. Then France, Bremen. One, wow, that's a natural 1, so unsure of location. Which means we lose the Munich box as well. So this will be the blank box. Four minus 2 is 2, which is no interception. So now we're trying to land. Which landing, what we established, was a 2d6 roll. That's an 8, so that's a safe landing. Okay, so now that the sortie's over, That was 26 and 27. Now we need to check for promotion. And I was just looking over this last night. So let's check for promotion. Okay, the first promotion attempt is made after the 4th month of service, and the second attempt after the 8th month of service. Okay. So promotion to the next rank occurs on a successful roll of 1d6 of 1 to 4 with the following modifiers. -2 per award of the Knight's Cross and subsequent upgrade, which we didn't get the Knight's Cross. -1 per 10 kills, which we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kills. So we don't get that. -1 per award of the Iron Cross First Class, which we do have, or the German Cross in Gold, which we don't have. And +1 for each aircraft lost due to a crash landing. We did lose an aircraft on a crash landing. Actually, no, I think we just got shot down. I don't think we lost anything on a crash landing. I think we got that plane destroyed. So the way that's ruling, the way I'm reading that, is the aircraft has to be lost due to a crash landing. So because the aircraft was destroyed in combat, I don't think we have that modifier. So we have a -1 modifier on trying to get promoted. So we need a 1 to 4 to get promoted, and we have a -1 modifier. That's a 6 minus 1 is 5, so no promotion. That's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Let's see. Okay, that was just a little note that I wrote for myself on full moons. So I could start a new month of sorties, but I think what I'm going to do is it's going to be a very short stream, but I would like to get to a point where I'm doing at least a month of sorties in every time I stream Night Fighter Ace. So I think we're going to call it a stream there, so I can get to a clear division of everything. I know it's a very short stream, but I've also got a few things I need to get to today. I need to run some errands. I've got an appointment later, and I want to play at least one more game. So we're going to call that a very short stream for this session of Night Fighter Ace. But as usual with the first stream of the day, we're not quite done yet because we do have our entry in the advent calendar to crack. So I'll work on getting all of this cleaned up. But yeah, if I'm getting to a point where a stream of 3 sorties is only taking me 20 minutes, I could probably do a month of sorties in like an hour and a half. At least that's my hope anyway. So we'll see how that works out. And why do I have such a big bag for these dice? Let me see if I can grab something small, a little bit more reasonably sized out of my bag of bags. Let's see if one of these will fit better. Grabbing one of my normal sized baggies, or one of my more normal board game sized baggies. See if I can slide that D6 down, probably just enough to get my other D6 in. Yep, okay. So that'll fit. Let's see, we can probably keep everything. Usually in the component tray that I'm using to store everything, I can keep all of my currently relevant tokens in one place. Which is that entry, which is that up there. And I'll make a note on my log sheet. 4 prestige points. Yep. Got one more chit in there for the raid target. which of course I've been terrible about using, but oh well. There we go. Okay. Let's see, there's the logbook that can go back in here as well. The log sheet, I should say. The logbook's in a separate notebook where I keep track of everything that happened on the raid. Let's see, that can go back in. Ace pilots, dice, and then of course the sortie log sheet. So that's gonna be, so my aim for the next time I stream this game is I want to try to do a full month of sorties in one stream. If I can do that, I'll feel a lot better about actually getting through a playthrough of this in decent time. That is not closing on me or for me though. Let's see if I can lay this a little bit. Might need a little, well, that actually seems like it's working. Never mind. We've got the corner causing problems there. I'll have to think of a way to... This one, for the combat cards, I'll probably need a little bigger bag, but I'll fight with that later. Anyway, let's say we bring the dice tower out of shot. We'll bring the advent calendar in shot so that we can find the entry for the 13th, which is this entry. Which is this spot right here. We'll go ahead and crack that open and see what today's die is. Today's die is the single-digit D10 from the gray and white set. The symbol here is the 0 or the 10, depending on how you're using it. Goes through the tower just fine, and that can get integrated into the set, into the collection of dice that I've been putting together. And that will do it for this playthrough of Night Fighter Ace. Like I said, I've got some errands I've got to run today over the course of the day. But later this morning, actually, let's see, I've got an appointment at 2. So yeah, I'll try to fit it in later this morning, but we are going to have a game of Hero Realms as we continue our background campaign of Hero Realms. We'll probably have another sports play a lot later. We'll probably unveil another sports project test a lot later this afternoon, but we'll see. That'll probably be in the evening that we do that. And then tomorrow morning, Mystical Munchies will continue out of the Magic the Gathering Cuisines of the Multiverse cookbook with the side ooze-infused, it's something like ooze-infused biscuits or something like that. I'll have the exact name of the recipe by the time I go live with Hero Realms later this morning. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care, everyone.